Hello friend, and welcome to an episode of Jen Puts a Hat On. In this video, I am going to be dissecting a V5 in my gym that I first attempted on Halloween when I was dressed up as a sushi, and that obviously came with its own unique challenges. Since the beginning of this climb is in a roof, it can be potentially challenging to maneuver through it without wasting too much energy. So the first move of this climb involves reaching back and camming your foot so that it stays put. And to do that, I just pressed my heel into the wall while I flexed my tibialis anterior muscles to toe my foot against the hold. And I completely ignored this bogus from the get-go because I realized that my arms were just long enough to reach back into the jug, which was a much better hold. That's my overarching philosophy as a climber: avoid slopers at all cost. Once I got that move down, my next decision was which hand goes to its jug first, because these jugs are obviously meant to go left here and right here. And I eventually found that I liked going for the left first, which I will explain later in this video, I think. So since this was my first day, I was going right first and heeling the sloper, which always feels super cool to do, but actually wouldn't be incorporated into my final beta. The final beta is all about moving through the section as fast as possible because we need to conserve our energy on this longer route. As many of you know, I don't rope climb at all. I am strictly a boulderer. Boulderer? I hardly know her. I don't know why sometimes I try to commit to a move and my legs undergo like evasive maneuvers. Let's just blame this on the big ass pillow that's strapped to my back, weighing me down. Also, if I sound weird right now, it's because I have allergies. I've had allergies for like 2 months straight. My second day, I realized that if I went for the left hand first, I could use the right jug almost like an intermediate and shoot up into the pancake sloper thing. I continue to do this because it saves so much time and energy because I felt like a whole noodle during this climb. I did not feel super strong. And almost in the same vein here, I slap that first sloper and then just try and move on to the next without readjusting much of my other body position. If you know me, this is a very classic move where I don't even try to go for the next hold, I just disengage, and that does not make me a very interesting projector sometimes. Okay, so this is gonna be the last time for a while that I show you this whole beginning section, because from this day on, I could pretty much repeat it without any issues. And that's kind of the coolest part about projecting. Within a few days, you do something that you felt physically unable to do when you first started, which is pretty cool. So when you're projecting and you do this right before the crux, I feel like every 1/10 of a second that you pause and think about it decreases your chances of hitting the move by like twofold. That might be specific to me because when I'm holding myself like this on an overhang, I have like an HP bar that I can see drastically decreasing because I'm not very strong. I feel like I can't hold things unless they are super positive, but let's put a pin in that because actually we're going to talk about that later, trying to make holds more positive instead of like holding on to a hold that's just really bad. So I was burning through this when Martin decided it was time to flash my project. Because I was so desperate for beta, I was trash garbage at recording him, but to break down what he did, he got his left foot high and started to hike his right hand into an undercling, which allowed him to get his right foot high and do a gnarly drop knee to pull his body into the wall and stabilize himself as he went for that move that I found so troublesome. And I'll show you the rest of the climb just because, you know, I won't be getting here myself for a while. So next, I do what I do best, forget everything I just saw and continue to fall off the same move over and over again. Then I realized I could throw in an early heel hook to save myself even more energy. You might recall previously that I was falling into this claw-shaped slopey hold and then heel hooking after that, but since it took me lots of energy to hang on to this thing, getting the heel up early was a good move to give myself some extra support through this slopey set of moves. Here I'm trying to go for Martin's Beta, which might have worked if I'd shimmied this hand up into an undercling, but it didn't work out for me and I decided that I wouldn't try to make it work again. I then made the bold choice to take off my pants and just climb in spandex as if I could channel Sierra Blair Cole's spirit through wearing booty shorts. So I changed back into pants after realizing my thigh was getting chafed by the hold I was heel hooking and decided I'd try to heel this big hold instead of doing the flag or the drop knee beta. On this day, I decided to keep going with the far left flag and fall into it beta, but was largely unsuccessful and went home very soon after. By day 5, I was miming this opening sequence in my sleep. On the left, I have something more experimental going on where I skipped the heel hook, but that was not the move, and I abandoned all alternative betas from that day on. So this was a very big moment for me because it was the first time I actually held onto this hold, if even for a split second. But once I cut feet on that baby, it was very difficult to get back on. For the rest of this day, I wasn't even thinking about my footwork at all. It was just all so bad. I was cutting feet left and right and unnecessarily wasting a bunch of energy, but I was almost breaking through the crux, so I was a bit distracted.
Here we have Jennifer Langen, whose middle name I do not know.
I actually don't have a middle name. In high school, people thought that I looked like a Caitlin, and my confirmation name is Bernadette. So those could be kind of like my middle names. Or I could legally make Sends my middle name. Jenn Sends Langen. Could work.
She is completing these moves that she's so effortless at. Oh, look at that, strong. I think she might do a heel hook next. Oh wow, how did we know? And she reaches over, good. Hold on, very good. She does a little foot switch. Nice.
Dude,
this is it, Jen.
Come on, Jen.
This is
Reach
it.
for it.
Good. She's gonna hang on. She's gonna catch
Go
it.
for it. Dude.
So I actually held on to this guy doing the flag beta and then slipped because I ignored this foothold. So here on the left was my first attempt, thinking that since I stuck the flag beta the last time that I'd be able to hit it with fresh arms, no problem. When I fell, that's when I realized something needed to change. I forgot how fun it was to project something over a course of a few days. There's just something so gratifying about getting something that you've been working on like day after day and getting a little bit further each day that you come back to it. I haven't done this type of video in a while. It was inspired by like a series that I had called Jenn Sends before my channel name was Jenn Sends. Those are kind of old, so if you haven't seen them, I will just like link them over here, as well as my most recent video. Oh my god, I do not sound very good right now. I'm so sorry about that, but I will link that over here. I swear I'm gonna see an allergist soon. Making an appointment, it's like an adult thing and I'm not very good at doing adult things. So until then, I will see you in the next one. All right, take care.